Welcome to another wonderful winning Wednesday. Give me a couple of minutes. Let me get everything rolling before we start. Give me a few minutes. Come on in, enjoy the music, and we'll be starting shortly. 15 more seconds, and then I'll be ready to start. Give me a few more seconds. We are just about to start. Come on in and make yourselves comfortable. Okay, welcome to another episode of Winning Wonderful Winning Wednesday. Wonderful Winning Wednesday. It is such a beautiful day here today in Virginia. While it's raining, I'm going to say still a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. We are well, my family is well, everybody is well, so it is a beautiful day. Today Lee won't be able to join us. He is on training, and his training ends probably in the next hour and a half or so. So he will not be with us today. Hopefully, he is learning quite a bit and he will be able to come back and be productive and share whatever he learned in his continuous training. It's good to always be learning. No, nobody can say they know it all or they know more than enough that they have no capacity to learn anything anymore. All right, so welcome to another wonderful winning Wednesday. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's always a good time to come in after the day and spend a bit of time with you, talk a little bit about business finance and infinite banking. We have this community here where we offer knowledge, we share what we know, and we also allow others to come into the same platform to share their experiences in the hopes that as a business community, we may be able to support each other, learn and share from each other, and be in a position where we're all able to grow together and grow our businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of many communities. It is through what we all do that we have employment for people in the community, we provide services in the community, and a lot of times we also offer or do charity work in the community, right? So this platform is really there to encourage us as business owners to collaborate, work together, learn from each other. A lot of times we may focus on just ourselves and just go, 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 trying to get things done. However, when you work within a community, what could possibly take you a week or two may end up taking you a couple of days because somebody may have been through something like that and they may be able to be of assistance to you. So do join in, do become a part of a community, do spend time with other business owners so that you can learn. You can learn and you can also share your experiences to help another person. All right, so today's session, since I'm all by myself, and apparently I tend to sometimes speak a little bit fast, but since I'm all by myself, what I'm hoping I will not take much of your time. What I wanted to pretty much talk about today was to address a couple of myths that I have heard or that I've been asked surrounding establishing business credit. As you may be all aware, all businesses, it's really important to make sure that you establish business credit. And the biggest reason really is that allows you to be able to fund the business without having to rely on your own personal credit. A lot of times, a lot of business owners, initially, especially in the beginning, you may, fund your business. However, as the business catches on, it's very important to make sure that you distinguish yourself from the business. There is you and your family, and then there's the business or the entity. Those two should not really commingle finances. Once you are able to establish your own business credit, the business should be able to financially stand on its own, and that you should not really be coming in to be funding everything and to be using your assets as personal guarantee in order for the business to get any type of funding. All right, so I'm going to walk through just a few myths that I have heard. If you are aware of any, or if you have another one that you would like us to address, you are more than welcome to let us know, whether through email or right here on this platform. That also would work, and we will address that. All right. So, the first myth that I hear from a lot of people is the question that goes like, would I need to have a great credit in order for me to start or to establish business credit? Would I need to have good credit in order for me to establish business credit? Well, when you establish business credit, this is the reason why you are doing business credit, so that there is a distinction between you and your personal funds. So your business credit really has nothing to do with you as an individual and how your credit is performing. This is why it is important to make sure that as a business owner, you set yourself apart from the business, of course, from a financial perspective. It is important to make sure that the business on its own is established, so that when you need funding, you can just literally provide your EIN number. And with that, lenders will be able to determine, based off of your credit history, that this business, it's a going business, it's a business that we can work with and that we can lend money to. This is why we talk highly and so much about business credit, because we know from firsthand, when we started our business, yes, initially everything was based off of us. However, as the business continued to grow, we were limited because we did not want to continue offering our own credit as what to be used in order to get any funding, right? And of course, as you can imagine, when you use your own credit to get funding for the business, that means that it increases your debt to ratio, right? And once that increases, oftentimes it just means that if you are looking to do any other projects that are going to look at your debt to income ratio, once that is a little bit too high, you may not be able to do personal projects or family projects, because you are carrying also business debts. This is why it is important for you to do your business credit. And no, you do not have to have a perfect score in order for you to start or establishing your business credit. You are building your business credit so that you can do exactly that. Have business credit that is totally separate from your personal credit. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that motivates a lot of you who may be worried about their own credit to say, well, are you now going to start pulling my credit and doing all these type of things in order for me to establish business credit? No, that's not going to happen. So if you are one of those individuals, hey, call, text, send an email. If anything, find out information so that you can be better equipped as you move forward with whether you want to establish business credit or not. All right. And then the other thing that uh, business owners talk about is there's a perception that only big organizations or corporations are the ones that can build business credit. Is that true? Is it true that only corporations or big businesses can build business credit? No, not necessarily. Most LLCs, sole proprietors, and even startups, you can actually build your own business credit. What matters really is how your business is structured and how it's being reported. So, whether you are only starting now or whether you've been in business for 2 to 5 years or more than 10 years, you can build your business credit. It is entirely based off of your business. So don't hesitate or don't sit back and say, well, I'm only starting, or, I'm just a sole proprietor. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Have a conversation. Let us find out your business structure and let us determine whether your business is able to actually establish business credit. It's worth finding out, right? All right. The next myth, and this one I think a lot of people fall into that trap where there is a perception that business credit builds automatically over time. That's a good one. Does business credit really build automatically over a period of time? Is that true? So, business credit, you have to actively establish your business credit. And that means you establish accounts with vendors that will report to credit bureaus and that will manage your credit responsibly. You reporting or vendors reporting to the credit bureaus, not every vendor that you have a, a, um, a contract or that you have an account with, sorry, let's say account with, not every vendor that you have an account with actually reports to the bureaus. This is why it's important to make sure that when you do open an account, whether it's a 15 net, 30-day, whatever account, vendor account that you open, some may say to you, yes, we do report. However, not everyone really does actually come through and do that reporting. This is why it is equally important to make sure that you align yourself with one, vendors that actually do report, two, with a provider that can assist you in this journey to make sure that over time you have established all this credit and that your business credit is improving over time. So it's not automatically just going to improve. However, it improves over time when you are linked or when you have established accounts with the appropriate vendors to make sure that, yes, you are doing the right things, you are with the right vendors, and all that information is correct and managed, and you keep progressing in that manner. All right. I think I've given you what, 3 or 4? I don't remember. However, the other one that we were, should I say, we were victims of is, do all credit cards, how should I put it? Do all business credit cards report to business credit bureaus? A lot of us have credit cards that are for the business, whether it's, Sweet Bakery LLC is written on the credit card. The bigger question is that credit card, despite it having that business or LLC name on as the name, is it actually reporting to the business credit bureaus? That is a great question that is a great myth that I hear out there. And the answer to that is not all of them do. Some of them actually report to personal bureaus. Some may be doing to both, and some may be only reporting to businesses. So whenever you do make an application for a credit card, just make sure that it is reporting where you would love for it to be reporting. If you are getting a personal credit card, of course, it's going to report to your personal to it's going to report to personal bureaus. However, when you go out with the intention of also ensuring that you are building business credit, it is important to make sure that that credit card that you apply for does actually report to the business credit bureaus. Otherwise, you're going to continue making these payments in the hopes that you are building your credit when in fact you're not doing anything. You're just making those payments and you're making those purchases, and you may have just gone in and just applied for any card really. So make sure that you know this information prior to you applying. And not just that, align yourself with an entity that will help you to make sure that they are continuously delivering on this promise. Sometimes you find businesses or you find credit card companies that will report. However, as time goes on, they may decide not to do it anymore. And in that instance, I believe it is important for you as a business owner to be aware, to know that, so that you can make a decision. Do you want to continue with that, or do you want to now look for a different company, or do you want to start limiting how much you use on this card so that you can now shift and use to another card that's going to definitely be reporting and in that manner increasing or working towards building your own business credit? These are some of the things that, as a business owner, you have to be aware of, and you have to constantly be checking to make sure that you are getting the service that you were hoping for when you signed up. Nothing irritates like thinking, oh, I'm establishing business credit. I'm doing well. I'm paying on time. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, only to find out all that information has not really been recorded to the appropriate business credit bureaus. Instead, it's only been reported to your personal bureau, right? And let's look at the last one. I think the last one that I want to talk about is sometimes people say, you don't need business credit if you are self funded. You don't need business credit when you are self funded, right? Now, like I said, a lot of business owners, when you initially start, some people may have the capacity to self fund. The bigger question is, how long are you going to be self funding? Is that something that is sustainable? Is that something that can keep the company growing? Are you limiting yourselves by not being able to get other sources of funding outside of what you are bringing into the business? Now, business credit helps with vendor relations. It helps with scaling your business, and I believe it's also it's also it also helps with risk management. So even if you're not looking for a loan right now, but the ability for the business to be able to be on its own, the ability for the business to be a growing concern, and for the ability for the business to be in a position where when you do get to that point in your business where you are looking to expand, you have sources of income. A lot of businesses usually don't grow or go out of business because of one thing. Well, there may be other things, but one of the critical ones is access to funds. If you do not have access to funds, it may be difficult for you to grow. Now, with business credit, you are setting your business up to be able to be funded by other sources, that way giving you an opportunity to expand further than where you are. And I think also with business credit, one of the wonderful things is that it allows you to be separated from the business. So once you do have this business credit, even if you may have initially started self funding, at some point you want to be able to separate yourself or separate your finances, so that if, for example, at some point you decided, you know what, I want to sell this business. When you sell that business, it can still be seen as a growing business, as a financially sound asset versus something that the owner was just pumping money into. All right. So that was quite a handful. That was quite a handful. However, these are some of the questions or the myths out there that I felt like I just wanted to address as we grow as a community, to just make sure that you don't limit yourself. You go out there, you find the correct information so that you can set your business up and do the things that your business will thank you later. I've never anyway come across any business that said, I don't need any funding, I don't need any assistance in terms of funds or finances or money or things like that. I'm good. I can put everything I have into the business. I'm good. So it's not a matter of you're doing business funding, business credit because you're looking for funding today. You may not be looking for funding today, but you may be looking for funding tomorrow. And when you're looking for funding tomorrow, that is not the best time to start establishing business credit. You want to get it done now so that as and when you need the funds, you're not scrambling. So make sure you know what's needed, what's required, what's true, what's not, and seek out assistance. There is nothing in this world that is frustrating than sitting in a silo and not reaching out. There are so many businesses around us, there are so many communities around us that do these type of things. Find one, get connected, and do the right thing for your business. Of course, unless your business is a hobby, that's a whole different thing, right? However, if you are looking to really build a business and make sure that you grow, you do the right things, and you enjoy your hard work, make sure that you do all these things and establish yourself, establish your business, separate yourself and your business, and watch your business thrive. All right, that was all that I had for you today. Thank you for hanging around with me. I will see you all next week on another wonderful Winning Wednesday, and hopefully then Lee will be back and he can share a little bit with us about what he was doing or what his trading was all about. Other than that, have yourselves a great afternoon, the rest of your afternoon, and see you again next week. One last thing, if you do have any other questions, please do make sure that you send through your questions either through email, through text, call, however way you're comfortable. Send through your questions, and we will see you again next week on another wonderful Winning Wednesday. Other than that, ciao and see you then. Bye bye.